we create agency. The book defines it in two different ways: express or implied. I prefer to use the term smart and really stupid, because express agency is the way that you want to create agency. Implied agency creates agency, but it's the really, really dumb way to do it. And I'll explain that, what I mean. So express agency is what you want to do. And by that, what I mean is that express agency tells you what it is that I have expressed to you. Expressing means I have made it clear, I've verbalized it, I've written it, whatever. I've made it clear. I am a real estate agent. And you have expressed to me that I know you're a real estate agent and I want you to help me in this thing. So it's very clear. There's no ambiguity. It's not like, did you want me to help you or not? Or am I your agent? I'm your agent, right? We were on Facebook and I saw you and I liked your post about the house that we're agent, right? I'm not guessing. If I'm guessing, I have a problem. I'm not sure if I'm their agent. Or they're saying, I'm not sure if Brian's representing me. I mean, he was at that open house that day, and we walked in and we saw him and he was nice and we liked the cookies that he had. And he's emailed me a couple of times. Is he my agent or is he helping? That is not express agency. Express agency is I have expressed to you. We are clear. We have a direct communication. We understand I am an agent and you want me to work with you. So there's a lot of ways we can do it. It can be a 3-second conversation. Hey, I'm an agent, you're a client, can I help you? Yes, shake your hand, we're done. That's express agency. It can be a 3-second verbal conversation. Now, that's probably not the best practice. The best practice would be, I want to get it in writing. I want to have something on paper to clarify that. But express agency does not require a written agreement to make it happen. Express agency is literally just, I make it clear that I'm an agent and I would like to help you, and that you're a client and you want my help. So however we do that, whether it's a verbal conversation and a handshake, whether it's over Facebook and I instant message you a couple of times and we agree, or I text you, I email you, or I have the written document, that being the best thing, I have a written document that we've signed that says that I am your agent, you're my client, and here's the contract that says that what that means. But I don't have to have that written document. It's just, are we clear about our relationship? Have I expressed it to you? Have you expressed it to me? That way again, the clarity is the most important thing. That way I'm not guessing and you're not guessing. Implied agency is the dumb way to do this. Implied agency is, just as the name imputes, it's implied. That we're assuming that things are happening. And some of you know the acronym ASSUME. But assuming, I assume that you want me as your agent. I assume that Brian knows that we wanted him to work with them. I'm guessing that we're all on the same page. I'm not sure. Brian's showing me a house. He must be my agent. I never said, can I be your agent? I never said, would you like to work with me? I never did that. If I did that, we'd have expressed. Implied is, I'm walking the walk. You guys have heard the expression that if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, what is it? It's a duck. Who said that? That was great. Exactly. That if you're if you're acting like an agent, you're an agent. Regardless of whether you said it, regardless of whether you had the express conversation or the express written contract, if I have that open house, that buyer that I've never met walks in, that customer walks in, and I start helping them. As a customer, I'm not helping you. But in this case, I'm doing it. Didn't have the conversation, I want to be your agent, do you have an agent, any of that. Didn't do any of that. Just, I'm going through the motions. You like this house, you want to buy it? Yeah, I like the house, I want to write something. Let's go write it a contract. Go write that contract. And I assume you're pre-approved with the lender. No, well here, I've got somebody on the phone, they'll get you pre-approved. And so you're going through all the motions. If there was a process, and there's not, I mean there's general steps. In buying a home, there's 10 things, let's say. And you're doing the 10 things, You're an agent. I didn't have to say, I want to work with you, you want to work with me. I should have, but it is not required to create agency. And so from that, this is very important for agents to understand, because when it comes to the license law and all that, the responsibility is on us. And I hate to say it this way, but it really kind of puts it succinctly. The public is dumb. They're infants when it comes to this stuff. So it's our job to be their parent and say, hold up a minute. You want to buy this house? Let's talk for a second. First of all, do you have an agent? No, I don't. Okay. I'd love to help you. Would you be willing to let me help you with this process? Let me have this express understanding with each other that this is what you want. And they say, that's great, we like you, you had this open house. Or maybe they say, no, we've got an agent already. Or maybe they're like, nope, we don't need an agent, we'll take care of it ourselves. There's a lot of scenarios. But the next thing is how do we handle that? Am I walking the walk? Yeah, let's get you pre-approved. Let's get you through all this. Did I do that, or was I clear? And that's where this all comes down to. Is that creating agency recognizes that the public doesn't understand what they're doing. And that it's our responsibility to explain it to them, to slow them down, to stop for a minute. And don't get wrapped up in, you want to buy a house? I'll help you buy a house. Let's go, come on. Feel like I got my little puppy. You want to go outside and go potty? Want to go outside and go potty? Go outside and go potty. Want to buy a house? Nope. Hold on, we need to put the leash on, because I know when we get out there, you're going to see the birds are going to take off, so I need to rein you in. It's kind of the same thing, and not that I'm calling my clients dogs. I realize that that's an analogy I'm not trying to imply. But the analogy is there. We need to help rein them in a little bit. And we get that shock collar. I don't suggest you do that to your clients either. Just want to be clear that you're not shocking your clients. Anyway, our clients don't know what they don't know. Our clients don't know what agency is. Our clients have no idea how agency is created. They don't know the difference between express and implied. Before tonight, I would bet that none of you in here have ever heard of any of this. And even though you probably worked with a real estate agent, maybe they didn't describe this to you, maybe they did, hopefully they did. But did they discuss it to you, or did they just go through the motions? You want to buy a house? Let's go buy a house. And you hope that they did a good job. You hope that they did what they're supposed to do. So that's how we want to create that. As an aside to that a little bit too, express agency, and this is kind of the greedy perspective of it a little bit, but as an agent, when I do my job, I'm hoping to get paid. If I do what I'm supposed to do, I'm doing this not for charity necessarily, unless it's mom and dad, of course, but outside of that, I'm doing this because I'm hoping to get a commission. If we have an express agency, we're pretty clear, we should be, that I am your agent, you're my client, and in that, I'm going to get paid for that. In fact, I'm going to put it in writing so that way I can protect that. But with express agency, my commission, I'm probably protected for that. Whereas an implied agent, there's no protection, or very little. So even if I wanted to ignore all the legal responsibilities and all the things that go with that, if I want to think about myself for a minute, I might want to think about my commission. Gosh, if I'm just walking the walk and talking the talk, I'm hoping that you're not going to go find another agent that did express to you that they wanted to help you, and now they have a contract with you, and now they're going to get the commission and not you. Because you never said, hey, I'm an agent, can I help you? Or they never said to me, hey, we need an agent, will you help us? So that's another part of this as well. We talk about compensation. And so I've addressed this already, but here's where it's at in the book. A couple things come from this. First of all, is that compensation has nothing to do with agency. Whether we're talking about express, implied, whatever, money and the payment of service has nothing to do with agency. You can get paid and not be an agent. Or you cannot get paid and still be an agent. Compensation has nothing to do with the creation, the validity, or anything behind agency. It has nothing to do, it doesn't matter who pays me. In fact, in a lot of transactions, most transactions, on the buyer's side, it's the seller and the listing agent that pays the buyer's agent a commission. The buyer actually doesn't even pay the commission in most transactions. It's the seller and or the seller's agent that pays the commission. So my buyer never pays me a commission if I represent them in the transaction. So by that virtue, it would, if the commission were true, that if the commission determined that, that would mean that since the seller's paying it, I'm their agent. Or that the listing agent's paying me, so I'm their agent too in some way. But compensation has nothing to do with that. So regardless that the seller's paying me or that the listing agent's paying me, I represent the buyer. And even if I don't get paid, I still represent that buyer. So regardless of where the compensation comes from, or even if I get paid, has nothing to do with creation of agency, how it gets created, anything. Unfortunately, a lot of agents don't understand that. There have been multiple court arguments that agents have made very stupidly that have said, well, they didn't pay me a commission. I wasn't their agent. And the judge says, well, what did you do to help that customer? Well, they came to my open house, and I helped them write a contract, and I got them pre-approved for a lender, or with a lender, and I got them tied in with the title company and a home inspector, and the judge is saying, it sounds like you're an agent to me. You were walking that walk, you were talking that talk, you're an agent. But I didn't get paid. I don't care, doesn't matter. You are an agent for that client. And here, and with that, that's where, again, a lot of agents find themselves into trouble, is because from their perspective, they grasp this to some degree, but they forget that our clients, that our customers, that members of the public don't have a clue about this. And it's our responsibility to explain this to them, that even though you aren't paying me, even though the seller's paying me, or whatever, I still represent you. You are my client, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. I represent you. I'm your agent. Or that I'm not getting paid, and I am not your agent, or whatever. We're making it clear. Not leaving it up for assumption. Not letting somebody think, well, I met him at the open house, and he was nice, and he gave me that cookie, and we talked about a home. He must be my agent. No, I'm not. I didn't say I wanted to be your agent. I didn't say I was looking for a client. Let's be clear on that.